gentlemen, the Warbosses of Da ApORKalypse.
Hello and welcome to the Warbosses of Da ApORKalypse. And today, there's only two of us regulars, so we are joined by Sid, the drunken orc, whichever way.
Over here.
Yes,
It's over there.
he's over there.
Hello, can you see me?
Over and Essex boys.
Hey,
And obviously
there.
Dread.
Clint's over there somewhere.
Yeah,
And I'm here.
yeah.
I'm
Dread's
definitely
that
here.
way. Dread's that way.
Only thing is, I'm still on the old mobile phone, so I can only see one of you guys at a time because I've just transitioned and moved into my new place.
He's transitioned to poor.
It's the limits of your mobile telephone device.
It is the limits at the moment of my situation.
I remember them well from 1996.
He's on dial-up.
Not the other.
Yeah.
56.
Actually, it came up as an option earlier, dial-up. I was like, what? Hey, really? Isn't that, no way.
What?
Yeah, it did.
Really?
When you was calling
Plug it in
me
your
on
phone
this.
line.
I was like, what's
Mum,
going
get off the phone.
You could
Go
get
on
some
the
More
internet.
coal in the furnace, quick.
You could get some tight sort of jogging trousers and stuff, and some you've already got the big rim black glasses, and run around with a modem, keeping yourself fit, and be the Mordemaider. That's a reference to the 90s.
Mr. Mordemaider.
Mr. Mordemaider, yeah. This month,
that dude actually did keep fit with my mum once. That's true.
Wow.
Whoa! Now,
Yeah.
when you say that, do you mean is that
Steady.
Stay on target.
This is my mum now.
Down.
My mum used to do aerobics 4 times a week. She was an instructor.
Oh.
He's just giving her a tips.
Yeah, hello, mum.
Oh, Mrs. Dread. Hello, it's lovely to meet you.
Yeah.
Someone's
There you go.
And
It does it every episode.
And this month,
Oh yeah, title.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
it's AnORKY in the UK, because
How fitting.
all four of us are from the UK, and Steve-O and Scar aren't here, so there's nobody here
times.
to keep us under. So we
Fun times.
yeah we figured we'd roughly talk about the idea of FOMO and hobby addiction, because
Yeah.
that seems to be the prevalent issue at the moment. But I mean, who knows what could happen? I mean, it's normally pretty hectic when one of them goes missing, and now that both of the bald knobs ain't here, it could be anything.
My name's Clint, and I'd like to say that I'm an addict.
Good,
Yeah.
good man. Well
Hello,
done.
Clint.
That's a good start.
I think we all are. I think that's the.
I think
that's the-
I think most people in the hobby are. I've not met many people who just dip the toe in and just go, yes, I enjoy occasionally painting a mini. Maybe it's one every couple of months, but maybe it's because I say I don't spend 24/7 hanging out on Discord groups talking about minis. So
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but
probably the worst sort of case of addiction could very possibly be saying you've quit a game and then sort of an
Yeah.
orange box.
oh my god.
Had enough. I'm
Tim,
off. He can
Tim,
fuck off.
You're one of those who's got it so bad that you don't even realise how bad you've got it. That you're everyone else is like, yeah, no, it's because you're addicted to the hobby real bad. I hate the hobby.
I hate.
Mate,
Yeah.
yeah. All right, okay.
In denial, isn't he? He really is. Classic
He's funny.
addict behaviour.
Yeah,
that.
but there's the thing is though is he is the
stop
sort that is
gazing at it.
he is so very in love with the hobby that although he might talk about giving it up, blah blah blah, he ain't really giving it up. We know that, right? But then there are people who, like you were just saying there, Sid, that you don't really get those people that just paint one miniature every now and again, because I think the marketing and all the rest, and we'll talk about that obviously in a little while, sort of drags you towards doing a lot more than that.
Yeah.
It's like the fear of missing out. So you do end up doing more, and especially knowing that okay, well, if I've just bought this codex, it's probably going to change in a year or two, so I better get some miniatures played on this codex. So I've got to get these ones painted. And maybe they just came into auction, they just buy the snaggers, and they start off with that. You know, they haven't got time afforded to spend, you know, just doing one at a time. Blah blah. They know there's a bit of a pressure anyway. So I wonder how many people perhaps burn out from getting so much of that intensity that it's like, I can't keep up with this train. It's too much for me. Yeah, I've seen it for sure with other people, and I'm wondering whether that train is going a lot faster nowadays with GW, whether that'll push other people to crash and burn and to go, no, I've had enough. Can't keep up.
Can't keep
or whether,
up,
yeah.
Well, it's as I was saying just before there. We got the Beast Snagger box not long ago. And this is, I'm talking orcs, not, you know, 40k, not EOS, not other factions, just orcs and 40k. We got the Beast Snagger box not long ago, and that was great. And I had to have it. And I got it. And then Kill Team came out yesterday, really. And I got that. And then I've just found out
come out yesterday? Did it really?
It was really, yeah. It was pre-order obviously a couple of weeks ago, but it came out 28th.
Yeah.
But then earlier today, I found out that the Combat Patrol box is coming out. At least it's going to be available for pre-order on Saturday, along with the Beast Boss and Beast Snagger boys on their own, and Squighog boys on their own, and Zolgrod Wartsnagger if you want another one, and you know all these extra things which are coming out. Still no Squigosaur, still no Killrig and all that, but there's plenty more coming out for pre-order next Saturday. The Combat Patrol box is the one that's got me interest, but that's another thing coming out. And I got a handful of Beast Snagger boys done. I'm not going to get any Commandos done because I'm just falling further and further behind. My pile of shame's just grown and grown and grown. And I've got to sort of put my foot down and go, right, no, let's get this done. But if something else comes out, that fear.
You're going to have to sell one of the kids.
That fear, that thing that kept me at parties till, that thing that kept me at parties till 4 or 5 in the morning until the last person had left. Because if I left early, FOMO, I might miss something good. It's ruled my life, and it's never been more so than now.
All you tended to miss out on was like some idiot getting drunk, falling unconscious in the doorway, and then vomiting all over it. So every time you went to the toilet, you got your shoes wet.
Yeah,
that sounded very personal.
I don't know. End of a party, you know, that's when you might end up getting to go home with somebody. You might see a fight. The police might turn up. All the fun stuff happens at the end. You know?
Well, this is it. Yeah. But I can never understand people who went to the pub and then like at 10 o'clock went, well, I'm going to do a shoot now. It's like, what? This is an hour left. I don't understand. I don't understand. You haven't been thrown out yet. And this is, you know, I've still got that fear of missing out now. It's just as I've got older, it's now over little plastic orcs. Which is
as it goes. I mean, the reason I was thinking that it just happened to come to my mind as a topic was that I was actually had that fear of missing out. I had it with the Snagger box, and then it seemed that everyone had got theirs, a week had passed, and I weren't going to get it. And then, boom, the guy in the store actually had one that he had reserved for someone else, and he said, look, they've been a week without collecting it, and he offered it to me, and I was like, yeah, I knew it, like, I wanted it, and I know I couldn't afford it, but I still took it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've moved into my new place, and genuinely, obviously, where I'm just transitioning between jobs as well, I cannot afford to go buying the new kill team. But then I had a call from my brother today, and he was just fresh out of coming out of the GW store, having got it for us. So, well, okay, thanks. I really thought I was going to miss out on it, really did. So that's why I was thinking it'd be a good thing to talk about, because, like, you know, it is a real thing that a lot of us, if you're really into the hobby, it can be really difficult. Like, I'm not just at the moment, I've got the fear of missing out with miniatures that are coming out and stuff like that, but there's also obviously the producing YouTube, because YouTube's a sort of another addiction. You you get into it, you start enjoying being a part of the community, and you know what us lads all do. It's great fun. So I feel like I'm really missing out on something I've been waiting for ages. Like, I started a YouTube channel, I was waiting for new stuff, saying, come on, G Dubs, and now they're doing it, and I'm not around to sing their praises and say, Yeah, everything's gone. You know, like I mean, I'm sort of tucked over there at the moment. There's everything over there. Sort of the dread stuff, almost ready, but not quite. But yeah, no, I feel like I'm, you know, missing out on the YouTube. Feel like I'm missing out on a hobby in general, just altogether. And it's, I don't know. So for me, like, it just motivates me to sort of push and get to it and get back to it as quick as I can and make it happen. But I think for a lot of people, it just put them off. It's stress, it's pressure, it's
Yeah.
you know, and I just wonder how much of a good dynamic it really is for a company to use for marketing. I mean, I get it, but if you apply it too much, if you twist that dial to too far, then the pressure becomes too much that people go, "Hey, not fun anymore, not fun anymore, can't do it."
I wonder if they were. I wonder if they were. They must be becoming moderately cognizant of that. I mean, it's still bad, and I mean, I'm going to put them on blast later for some of the FOMO shit. But like with the kill team thing, right?
It's a great box.
They did a made to order. They did it.
Yeah.
Like they must have realized, because the thing is that's. I mean, I don't think GW cares too much about how dodgy their tactics are. I don't think that's it. But I think.
And just to interrupt you there, Dim, it sounds like the store's got enough boxes too, because my brother did say that there was, because I said to him, "Oh, I was really worried about missing out on it." He said they had a lot of boxes of it there. So it does seem that was obviously, to make up for the Snagger release, they have obviously listened to some criticism.
That was weird, wasn't it, Sid? Because we both ordered ours from the same store.
Yeah,
we met up to go collect them, but like, wasn't the fella on the phone saying to you that they'd sold them out, right?
Mm-hmm. When they rang me on Thursday to say they were getting them in to check, I still wanted one.
Yeah.
Which I thought I'd done by placing my name and bothering them 4 or 5 times, going, "I'm on the list. How many are you getting?"
You definitely spelled my name right.
I missed the call. Yeah, I missed the call. He left a message, and on the message he said that we're just checking because we've got more interest than we have boxes coming in.
However, did you notice? Because when we went into the shop and we had a browse before we bought them, we had a quick look around, and there was ones on like to buy in the store.
Yeah. So
either like a bunch of people have pulled out and didn't want one after all, or they were telling a little fib.
Well, I can't imagine what a little store would have, would get the gain from something like that.
I think it's more likely.
I mean, that was Thursday.
Yeah. I think it's more likely
before
that
Thursday. Do you want more?
Yeah.
We've got fucking loads here. Do you want any more than the 16 or something you ordered? Well, have had more interest. Go on, give her an extra 5 or something like that, 10, whatever. So they've just got a bit extra and they stuck some on the shelves. But they still had. I mean, downstairs we still had boxes of Curse City and Hexfire and what was the one with the Hobgrots? Dominion, is that right?
Yeah.
I think where they've got a lot less.
One. They were all still knocking about as well.
Although they didn't have Curse City, did they?
They've got a lot less store space than they used to have in the old days. You know, they used to have a lot more stores and a lot more space, I think, and they don't want to keep loads of. I mean, they've got an expanding catalogue always. They don't want to keep it all in stock, so they are trying to do the best stock management they can in that. Not good for the customer, but good for them in the sense that they're just going, right, okay, just give out to what's needed, and that's it done. We don't want to have anything sitting around.
Yeah,
that's the way they're playing it.
The thing is, though, with like the GW stores, they've been doing that for years, and that's slightly worries me that if they use that as an excuse, because like that's a very well, I know, but like that's a very well-oiled machine. Like they always have like I think it's like things like the top 200 or top 400 sellers, but it's basically
I think it might be 6. They told me it was top, but it's because I saw a little section which was like moved to clear. And I saw some of the Orc buggies, and I was like, "Are these being reduced?" Nope, still full price. But they just moved them closer to the till.
Last chance
like a packet
last
of
chance to buy them.
Tic Tacs or Polos that you might pick up on you. I'll pick up that 60 quid. Get me way out. But they put
last
them
chance
there
to buy them
because
before the staff destroys them.
Yeah.
Yeah, which means
They're
like,
not getting a place on the shelf anymore.
This is it. And yet, I'm like, well, hang on a minute. You've got the Orc Pain Boy hung up over there. You're not telling me he's one of the top fucking anything. He should be in the bottom 3. Just
yeah,
3.
but he's not going to be in the new box, and you might need one. And it's a sexy model after all.
it's a fucking terrible model, but it's always been useful in Orc armies. So I always get the feeling that casual Orc players will buy it because it's useful rather than because it's a good model, because it isn't.
Just for the rules rather than the actual mini itself.
Yeah. I mean, it was especially useful in 7th, like, because
The thing is, the
you
two before it were
fucking. You'd take that bloody green tide that was literally the only Orc list that worked in 7th, and stick the frickin' pain boy in the middle. So all of that huge mob of boys got filled no pain.
I don't know. The War Council was pretty good too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but it was kind of an extension of that. You would often see both of them together, even.
Yeah.
But a lot of points had to go into that War Council because you had like Gazzy and the Mad Doc.
Yeah.
And like
Big
then. Big Mech, and then there was a bunch of other things. I can't remember what it was, but then was it Knobs or Mega Knobs?
Mega Knobs, I think.
Oh, it was. Yeah, it probably was Mega Knobs actually. A friend of mine used to run it at the time, and it was mental. It was such a bang stick because Gazzy in those days was nigh on unkillable. Like even more unkillable than he is now, I would say.
I'm going to have to wait a codex or two before I get my Warboss or Big Neck on bike back.
He's pretty killable at the minute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
To be fair.
Yeah.
Well, everything is. I mean, that's kind of the consequence of the simplification of the rules.
I mean, everything is, across the
Leaf
board.
Blower is more effective than it's ever been, in spite of the fact that they got rid of templates, which always freaks me out. They got rid of templates, but things are more killy than they've ever been.
You guys have had more of a chance to have a look at the codex and get your head around things and discuss things with others and all the rest. I've barely even looked at it, but I did have a brief look the other night. And I noticed, looking at battle wagons, bone breakers, and gun wagons, that they've removed the thing whereby adding a weapon removes some of its transport capacity. It doesn't anymore. It's only adding the hard case, it seems, that actually does that. So you can have it seems that way. Like on say a bone breaker, you can add guns to it, and it still has a 12 capacity. It seems with a battle wagon, it's got a transport capacity of 20.
Although,
it doesn't matter what weapons you put on it, aside from the hard case.
Question: is the gun wagon the only one you can put the boom gun on, or whatever it is, the kill cannon or whatever it is?
No, I think it can go on anyone with an actual kill cannon.
Yeah.
So the gun wagon.
Because that would be my thought.
Transport capacity of 12. That's always been the case with the gun wagon.
Red roller or something like that. That would only be able to be used on a bone breaker. But you know, for the transport capacity thing, I think that's awesome, because that was one of the things that used to really put me off about. You know, when I was making a choice between them, I'd be like, oh yeah, but I really want it for the transport capacity. Yeah, I want to be able to load it out if I want to and have some fun with it. But a lot of the time I'd be running a wagon with naffle on it because I wanted the full transport capacity. I didn't want to suffer any losses on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I love that. I mean, it does seem to be the case, unless I'm mistaken.
The battle wagon's got a transport capacity of 20. And a bone breaker and a gun wagon's got a transport capacity of 12. But you can put stuff on the battle wagon. I don't know how it affects it because it's under the like hard case and all that sort of stuff.
Because I was thinking, can the battle wagon one have the kill cannon?
Yes.
That's weird. That's weird. Because you would have thought. I was thinking maybe the kill cannon is limited to one of the other ones.
No, it's cannon, which is the choice of 2 shots, terrible or a bit terrible, or you can have the kill cannon, which is the only option really, or the zap gun if you want to go down that route.
Well, the cannon's got 2 good profiles, but on an orc, they're not good profiles.
No. It's a single shot, which or there's the heavy D6, which is just like strength 5, no AP, 1 damage. So it's a bit. It'd be great against like maybe guardsmen or something like that, lightly armored, low toughness troops. But Marines are just kind of go, ha ha ha, what's DD?
Yeah.
Party poppers.
Pea shooter. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think though
But-
it will only be the gun wagon that you can have that super cannon on.
Yeah, the boomer.
Yeah, that'd be
I
it.
thought the boomer is the boomer still a thing for a start?
That's
Oh, I don't know.
that's true.
You know, because I don't think the red roller is.
Oh really? Oh, is it? No, it is. I'm sure it is.
Oh no, wait, no, there is something like that, but it gives
Yeah, there is.
they changed it from +6 attacks to an extra 6 attacks. Sorry, then they changed it to something like D3 plus.
D3 is it?
3.
D3 plus 3, yeah, something like that.
Let's have a look.
'cause that's
Vehicle
going to make
stats.
all the fucking difference.
It's not as good. Our custom jobs are nothing to bloody strats, man, like an absolute plum. There's not bloody many, not that much. The boomer, custom job replaces the kill cannon, so you can have that in, I mean, any of them. Gun wagon, battle wagon, death roller, bonebreaker.
I mean, I
It says at the
suppose
bottom, on the battle wagon, at the bottom where it says transport, if you put a kill cannon on it, it's reduced to a capacity of 12.
there you are.
Yeah.
Right. So if you put it on a battle wagon, it knocks it down.
From 20 to
Right.
12.
And the red roller, it only goes on the bonebreaker.
Yeah.
So you can put a death roller on the battle wagon, but you can't put the red roller on the battle wagon. And it changes the add D3 plus 3 to the attacks where it used to be add 6.
Yeah.
So you're getting, is it D6 plus D3 plus 3 now?
Something like that, isn't it? Yeah.
Instead of D6 plus 6.
Yeah. Instead
Just
of the
a
flat
weird-
6 edition.
It's a weird way that they've done it with the.
It's like
There's
I'm
a
not.
little bit.
I know it's off topic a bit, but I'm not keen with the super shock attack gun where they've went right. It's D6 as standard. Now we'll change it to 2D6 with souped up, and that was last version. Now it's 2D3 instead of D6.
Mm.
That to me is you've got a better chance of not rolling really low, but you've got a better chance of not rolling really high either. So you're guaranteed.
4.
Not guaranteed, but
Yeah.
middle ground, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing as well, I know it's been pointed out about the big mech in Mega Armor and the picture, that you got the same thing with the battle wagons there, haven't you? The Bonebreaker is the picture of the back end of a gun wagon instead of actually just being like, why didn't they just show the Bonebreaker end? Like,
Yeah.
it makes no sense. They've got that miniature.
Yeah.
On battle wagon news, they're reboxing the battle wagon now as well.
Mm.
So the battle
Oh, yeah?
wagon now comes with the upgrade sprue.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
waiting for them to do that.
finally!
So
Yeah,
you
waiting
get it
for
with the
them to do that.
roller and the lobber and the
About time.
I'm doing sign language here for anybody.
You
who
do.
knows it.
I
That
wish
cannon.
they'd do what they did with the
Obviously gonna mean
with the
price
jet
hike.
though, and make a couple of extra bits as well, some new
Yeah.
bits.
You never know.
Oh, I hope they do some new bits, new stuff,
Ah.
new stuff.
Nah.
D-chance.
Oh god, and it gives you a reason to buy old stuff, new stuff, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
Yeah, I'd buy old stuff if it's got new stuff thrown in. I hope they're watching.
The thing that-
New stuff in.
The thing that probably bothers me is that yes, this is kind of good that they've finally incorporated the kit, but I mean, you're still going to pay for it. They'll up the price by how much the sprue is
They're
going to
just
be.
not gonna
And-
buy 15 quid.
Yeah, and presumably the other thing is that you won't be able to buy the sprue separately anymore. Which means if you were going to buy those death rollers to do something cool with for something else,
Yeah,
that's no longer an option. So really,
This is true.
this is
I know,
probably a
Oh,
worse.
but do you know what it is? You can't have it both ways, and a lot of people
Yeah.
wanted it lumped together.
Yeah.
And I know every time I've bought a battle wagon, I've wanted the upgrade kit. I've had to go and source it separately, and although it's only
pain in the
£9,
arse.
it's a pain. And then generally I get stung with bloody shipping because the only place I've been able to find it normally is GW. I didn't stock, so I'm paying like a few quid on top of that when I've got 10 or 20% off the
Well,
battle
that
wagon.
was
If I
that
can
was
get
They
it all
won't have it in
together.
the store.
I'm happy.
It won't be, if they had it in the by the
Never in the
tills
shop.
store, but they would nowadays. So
Now they're
That
trying
was
to
one of
shift
the-
bloody buggies and that there.
That was one of the big scams that they did back in like the sort of like the battle days and like sort of like mid fourth ed, like even when like back in the days when even I had a positive opinion about the company, they did some dodgy shit. And one of the really dodgy things they did is that they had like every time you bought an Imperial tank in Second Ed era, like unless it was like something in like a small box, if it was in like a box about this size, like one of the smaller boxes, like say like a Rhino or something, you wouldn't get it. But if you got any of the big tanks that were in like a big sort of sizable box, and that's like basically Predator Annihilator, Predators, Russes. They didn't have Land Raiders back then, and Land Raiders were actually in the smaller box. Weirdly, when they did exist as a kit, but like the Russes and the Predators specifically in tanks of that similar thing, like they would get the Imperial tank sprue that would be in there, the accessory sprue. And when they started updating the game, at some point, they put the price of the tank up, took the sprue out.
yeah, I used to love that little sprue too. That's so handy. I've made so many cool things out of it too. The little lamps and stuff like that. Yeah, really
Because
cool.
I'm still moderately living. Well, I think they've all been used up now, but for a while I was living off those old tank sprues. I think I still got one or two of them knocking around somewhere, and the ones that I have were ones that I got in boxes with actual tanks that I bought for like early third, late second, and like rhinos and things.
Do you remember those days? Like how good it felt
Predators.
to just buy a tank. I've just bought a tank.
Mm-hmm.
I own that tank. That is my tank. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna build that tank.
I bought a Predator Annihilator for my Space Marine army because Space Wolves were allowed to have one for a bit. And I thought, fuck it, I'll do it as well. Because for like half an edition, I ran my Space Marine chapter as Space Wolves just so I could take that stupid tank.
I bought the upgrade sprue for the Bane Blade when I was doing that Battle Fortress. Because I wanted like the 4 sponsons and supposed to just like the the 2 that came as standard. So I thought I'll get the extra sponsons, and that's all it was, 2 extra sponson kit. And I got it, and because the sprue that the sponsons come on had more stuff on, I got all that extra stuff as well. And it was like a full set of exhausts for the back. So I've got some great big sort of tower exhaust and angled pieces and straight up pieces, a load of the big fuel barrels off the back, loads of spare armor plates, ladders, headlights. There was quite a lot of extra little bits and bobs that I thought, well, this has got enough all to do with the sponsons, which are there, with both sets of weapons, whether you've got the heavy bolters or the heavy flamers. I mean, I sacked them all off and put scorchers on, but whatever. But there was loads of extra bits and bobs, and I thought this is actually a pretty good upgrade sprue, because the sponsons are good, but all the other stuff's been dead handy just for sticking extra exhausts on the AnORKY vehicles and extra armor plates, orking up me little Aquillas, making ArkQuillas.
All the extra
shaving the eagle off and sticking the Orcliffe on.
They were they were a great source for like for other things as well, because like back in the Goku Markers days when they had Goku Markers still running, they did some White Dwarf articles called MadMex, where they came up with some extra sort of vehicle accessory sprues, some vehicle accessories that you could use for your Goku Markers stuff, not sprues, like rules to use them. And I used to use the accessory sprues to make shit on that all the time, like the mine layer and spiked wheels and shit like that. And you would be kind of given rules and encouraged to use the sprues in that way. Oh, those were the days.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Old days.
Shampoo bottle tanks and all that sort of stuff. Those deodorant,
jumpers for goalposts.
Yeah,
jumpers for goalposts.
I genuinely, I can remember going around to like other lads' houses when I was only young in the hobby, and seeing like they had like a glass cabinet in their room, and they had like 3 tanks, like painted blood angels or something like that, and I was just like, whoa, oh my god, wow, oh. If I couldn't afford them, they were actually quite expensive. Like even when I was a kid, couldn't afford them. So, and then the Epic came out. I did get a Lehman Russ eventually, a full-size Lehman Russ. That was probably my first tank, then a Basilisk. But first time I had ever matched any of my friends' amount of tanks is when Epic came out. I was like, oh, yeah, now finally I can have 7 tanks. Oh yeah, yes.
Have you seen them?
Like micro machines. They were so. I loved how heavy they were though, just being that little chunks of metal. Like if they come back now, they'd be plastic, and it just wouldn't be the same.
I had loads of plastic ones for Epic when it first came out. Rhinos and Land Raiders and Battle Wagons.
A lot of the Space Marine stuff was plastic.
Yeah. If you got the special ones, the ones that weren't just the standard Battle Wagon, Rhino, Land Raider, yeah, they were metal.
They were all metal, yeah.
I was going for them.
And the plastic kits were a bugger to put it together.
Yeah.
Hatches.
Actually, I found with the little figures, like you get that tiny little fucking plastic little base from, and then you get like 5 little figures. And especially with the command squad, it's like, you know, you get loads of the other dudes, which are like all really similar, like say Space Marines. I mean, they're just a standard thing. But command squad, they've got all the banners and the bits sticking out. As soon as you go and stick one down, you're like, yeah, right, that one's on there, nice, right. Get the next one. Go to put him down. Oh fuck! I've just broke the other one. Oh shit! Oh fuck! Now, it's so easily broken, and you only get one of them in the whole thing. Like, oh great, well that's good, isn't it? Yeah. just killed the boss. Oops.
I think that's how they made money on Epic, was breakages.
Yeah.
That must have been.
It was a scam one that was like Sabutio corner flags. It never lasted.
Well, I didn't play it properly. People were like, "What are you collecting?"
Did play one person who certainly thought that Epic was
Metal.
fucking Sabutio. Jesus.
Metal tanks. Yeah, it's a blue yeah.
That's a lead one.
I think the new Commando there's going to be lots of extra bits in that from the Kill Team box.
Yeah, there is. Christ, have you ever seen a sprue that's so packed with stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. I've got it, but I haven't got it. I've got to wait till it gets given to me. There's going to be
so many extra little bits and guns and packs, and
I'm excited about that terrain as well. I reckon there's a good bit of terrain in there. Like that's.
There's, I mean, this is an amazing box set for Goku Marker. Because for one thing, you've basically gotten the most of a fort. You've got some cracking orc models. Some other shit that could be thrown away or used as like nice corpses for your bases. And then you've got a great rulebook to keep you warm over winter. You know, should burn for a little while. It's about all it'll be good for, but you know, great Goku Markers.
I don't know, like they're so invaluable these days, like because they're, you know, basically like by the time you finish reading it, it's already got reprints coming out. That you can actually play a fun game with these books. Is actually just go through it just with a red pen and just like circle and highlight all the mistakes, and you can go back again and again, and you'd be surprised how many times you find something. It's unreal.
But just
typos fun game.
And stuff, or just
just circle them, and every time the correct one, you cross it off. It's like bingo, right? And then house.
But no, I will mock them because there's plenty to mock. But I will say, like, I mean, I haven't even played. I don't know about you guys yet, but I haven't played the new Codex. But it does. I am liking it.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. I am.
Me not so much. For a number of reasons. One, I've quit. 2, never love grots. Never love grots.
Oh yeah,
break your heart.
Because
to be fair, you
the
can't
guy
really play
behind the
grots
codex really doesn't fucking like him. And
no, you can't really play grots. Yeah.
Like it's just like every time it's like getting close to, oh, I can finally do like a proper full grot army. There's always a catch. When it was grot hordes, it was like Macquarie's Goth, so you can't use them as your HQ. Now you can.
Do you know what? Though, Tim?
So why would you?
I quite honestly do believe though that there will come a time, and it's in their plan. I believe, like it's not outside of their plan; it's in the plan that they probably will have a separate release for grots.
Yeah,
Rebel grots.
Yeah.
I don't have faith in that anymore.
You actually sound like a rebel grot, just sort of standing behind the drops.
I believe they
Inspiring
will.
the others. We all have our day,
I
brothers.
was thinking about this long and hard just the other day. I was thinking, you know, like the way that they've done these releases. You had the buggies, all right, okay, but before that, you had all of that stuff that was kind of goth-like. You know, you had the Goku Markers and stuff like that. Then you've had these buggies, but each time they could have done other things. Like there's things you could have wished for that they didn't do, and they've done this now with the snake bites. I reckon it is a long-term strategy whereby, you know, for each army they've got to think, right, we have to have an ideas pool for each time that we spend some time on something. We need to know what we're going to come into and what we're going to do. We've got to have a bit of a plan. And with orcs, it's kind of easy because we've got this clan thing. So they've gone, okay, well let's actually set out who the clans are and let's start putting a little bit of focus on each one each time. I think that is what they're genuinely doing, and I think that they are starting to listen. And they will have it pointed out to them that you fucked grots. People that want to play grot armies. I mean, yeah, they're still having to do the Imperial Guard thing, and they were, you know, you force them to that now because they can't use the codex really. So
I think you're saying it's true there, Dred, because they've done that with the clans, haven't they? They've slowly been expanding them a bit more in the last few codexes, and now I think I've not played a game yet, but reading through it, it looks like each clan is really going to play to its own strengths in the lore. You know, the Bad Moons are just really the shooty guys. The Goths are really the close combat guys, and you know, it really feels a bit more like each clan is playing to its own strengths, which is good, and it gives you hope for maybe the Grots. They'll
expanding on that, Clint. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually two codexes on from here. Maybe we're in a situation where they split the orcs up.
They'd have to do
like Space Marine chapters. So we'll have a core codex orcs, and then there'll be the different factions.
That'd be nice in some ways. I mean, unless you play multiple clans, which would be a pain in the ass because you have to take like 7 books to each game. But
they've done it with EOS. They've done it in Age of Sigma already, haven't they? With Thorax and whatever you call it, Savage Orcs now, and these new cruel boys, Gloomspite Gits.
Yeah,
the other goblins.
Yeah.
What's the other goblins called?
Like Gits and
the common goblins are kind of out of it at the moment.
Yeah. I thought there was another one though, like the Gloomspite and the.
But it wouldn't be a bad. It's not a bad thing in the long term because if they're going to expand orcs as a race and as a range, then we're no longer the, you know, forgotten about sort of back shelf.
Well, they got the Nobblers.
Oh yeah, we got those. Yeah, those guys. We're back on focus. You know, that we're back in the sort of like, okay, now we've got this serious opponent that I think what they've done is they realised that they, you know, orcs can mirror any other army, you know, in a sense, you know, so they're a good opponent.
Yeah.
Even if they're going to always mostly be the fall guy.
This is it. You can put together an orc army now. I mean, just an orc army, not like different, you know, like I've got in my head of Eldari, there's different types of, like, you know, the Elder sort of like army list, whether it's Harlequins or Drukhari or Craftworld or Yanari and all that, they're all different. Yeah. But with orcs, you could pick that codex up and put together an army which will stand toe to toe with most of the melee armies and put up a fair fight.
Yeah.
Or do an army that's going to just shoot as well as anybody else. Especially with like the Bad Moons and Freebooters. The Freebooters are at the minute are you know, really devastating. Shooting, devastating, because they're actually hitting. Really, and they get orcs normally get shed loads of shots. You just miss with most of them. So if you turn that round and start hitting with them,
my mate, I would give my mate a lift tonight, and he crapped himself because he was like, "Hang on a minute, with that +1 to hit for destroying units, is that cumulative?" And I went, "Yeah." Yes, it is.
You only ever get +1, but when you start knocking off people's, well, I've got -1 for this. Well, I don't care because I shot him and I shot him, so you're not good.
Yeah.
And he's already hitting on 4s, so he's now hitting on 3s. Like mechs and Wasbomb blaster jets and all that with teleport blasters and hitting on 3s, man.
I'm looking forward to playing some of the freebooter clan traits. They sound really cool.
Thought you want death skulls in there?
No,
Evil Sons for a minute.
Evil Sons, isn't it? Yeah.
Whatever one I fancy, mate. But yeah, no. Free
Yeah,
Brewers,
why not, man? That's a way pick and mix.
Mr.
Pick and
Tailorer.
mix.
Picker and chooser.
Yeah, mate.
I want a Goth Bad Moon mix, I think. For me, definitely.
Yeah, that's what I've got my Death Skulls as well, to be fair, they're in there still.
I mean, I kind of want to do Evil Sons if I do sort of toy with 40k. I mean, I'm mostly be building it for older editions, but like, you know, it could. I'll make an army that could work in the current edition. The other two armies that I would play, Freebooters and Evil Sons, like
Freebooters give you the opportunity to play all those other clans, but have something that ties them all in together. You know, in your colour palette or whatever. You know, like you can have Bad Moons and Death Skulls and Evil Sons, and you know you can do all that, but you can have something that ties them all in together. They've all got a similar marking on them, or they're all battle damaged or worn or whatever. It just allows you to do that without them all looking like, you know, like a rainbow so much.
I like the rainbow.
Yeah.
Like a rainbow, you could taste it. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like to me, it sometimes looks a bit. No, I like it. I'm just saying, like, you know, it don't all call me to look like a Space Marine force now, do you?
No, true. No.
Unless it's just wearing bits of their armor as armor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's only good enough for the grots.
But yeah, on the subject of grots, in order for grots to get good, you'd probably be waiting for a change in edition, I think, because the core rules just can't handle Gretchen. That's why they're 5 points. Like, you make them the points that they should be, which is 3 points. They shouldn't be 4. They should be 3. And they have more numbers than the game can handle. And the Munchkins and Power Gamers come along and they min-max to fuck and use the grots as basically dump stats. It's like, I'm dumping these, I'm paying 3 points a model for the capacity to fill my minimum required troop slots, and then just taking the nasty shit that's going to leaf blower and, you know, take objectives from people with no real challenge. And, you know, like the fluff gamers like me have to pay the price for it. I think that's the most discouraging thing about it, is we need an edition where 40k can go back to being a bit more of a broad church, I would say. Like that can't really work now. The good news for an awful lot of 40k players is there's more ways to make orcs relevant now than they ever have been in like competitive and semi-competitive stakes. But the price that had to be paid was people who wanted to do dumb shit just can't do it. And if they do, they're taking something so dumb that it could never win a game. And whilst I don't have to win, I want to stand a chance. And like, I used to take stupid grot lists that people said couldn't win in like 5th ed and 6th ed and 7th ed and 3rd ed. And I'd not win every game, but I'd win a fair few. I beat tournament players with grots. I beat a fucking Drago Wing, like mid 4th/5th edition, whenever the Drago Wing was a thing. I can never remember now. But like, I've already told the story on here. But like, he thought it would be a walkover. No, it fucking wouldn't be. Whole lot of diddly, mate. Whole lot of diddly just killed your fucking knights. So I mean, yeah, but I think, just to get back to the Codex for a moment, seeing as we're talking about FOMO and stuff. Yeah. So a number of us have read the Codex. I mean, all of us have read bits of the Codex because it all got fucking leaked. But in terms of having the book in your hands and looking at it, like, that's a prestige right now, because GW has done an experimental little thing that they've done that they haven't done before, of putting it into a box that they had no intention of selling a great deal of. So everybody who managed to get Beast Naggers, and I was never going to get it, like, there was no way. I knew it was going to sell out. That was kind of the thing about it. And like, I was so discouraged by the prospect of getting one that I didn't even bother to even want it. I mean, I probably wouldn't have anyway, because whilst I don't hate the beast snaggers, they're not really my thing.
Yeah, same.
And the only thing that I'd really want from them would be the squiggy beasts, and those pig noses just put me off. I'd have to do something about those.
I thought that until I built them. I really, I was in the same camp as you, Dim. I was like, I got the box for the codex because I wanted the codex.
Yeah, same.
And then I've built the squiggly beasts, as you call them. And I tell you what, now I've put them together, I love them. I think they're brilliant.
Oh, right, cool.
I've literally tonight decided to start cutting just those off. So just got the
even if the nose,
just to have a look at them, and I'm like, okay, like I can do things with this. It's actually not as bad as I feared. So the body is mostly the two sides, two parts. It doesn't have any part of the rider already attached to him or anything like that. So you can actually swap that out, or you can sculpt onto it or whatever, and still fit the rider on over as you want, as you please later, which is great. In fact, it doesn't fit that brilliantly.
I do like the nose doing one thing, because it's kind of like they're kind of giving us these are basically ball boys.
Yeah, it's a nod towards the ball boys, definitely. 100%.
And it's making it clear beyond any doubt, as if doubt was really needed, that balls were squigs. Believe it or not, in certain law circles on the internet, that was a debate. Like people,
but they said clearly back in the day, that balls were a type of squig.
Yeah,
I remember.
It must be in somewhere hidden in one of the Rogue Trader books, but I never found it at the time.
But I just don't like the look of their faces. I am definitely going to go sculpting on them.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm half decent enough at green stuff. I can cover that over. It's no bother whatsoever. I will get those kits to play with, absolutely, at some point.
But they are actually, like, I'm glad in a massive way that this is actually a useful kit outside of. So when they do come out separately, there is reason, I believe, to actually buy it. I didn't think I'd be saying this, really did not expect to be saying this, but I think there will be reason to buy it outside of just building the miniature. There is conversion opportunities. So you do have these riders that are going to be useful on so many different projects. Like I've cut one off already. Yeah.
Well, that was, I mean, it's kind of surprising for me to really say it, but like, I don't really have an awful lot of bad things to say about the Beast Snaggers, all told. I mean, personally,
just the aesthetic
doesn't appeal, but the options that have been opened up by having these profiles is worth it. And they've done a very, very clever thing with Beast Snaggers, which is they've managed to give Snakebite players some long overdue fucking love. They've fucking owed it. Like the amount of years that have gone by, and they've basically had nothing since Rogue Trader days. Like basically,
you are speaking to about 5 people right now, but carry on.
I mean, but that's why we're speaking to 5 people, because they didn't get anything. It's like you know how everybody says, "Oh well, Space Marines sell the best. That's why we make more Space Marine kits." Yeah. That's why GW makes more Space Marine kits. No, the popularity of Space Marines means that Space Marines are the popularity. They're more popular, because when you are in a hobby and you know where GW is going to put money, you're kind of thinking, well, I'll probably just go with the thing that they put the money into.
Well, I just hope the next faction that gets some attention is the one that everyone thinks isn't a faction. And then if we freebooters get a whole bunch of attention, then you'll all be loving them, wouldn't you?
No, but
you can say you were there from the start. Well, there, close. You know.
Nah, I played Death Skulls actually first when I first got into the Orcs.
I've never settled with one clan. I've never settled with one.
No, that's true.
They've all got the place. I've always painted units to the clan I think that best suits them, because that was never an issue back when I've actually played with any sort of regularity. Now that people might go, but these are all different. Yeah, but they're all Bad Moons.
They're all orcs.
Those are all
Don't-
goth. Yeah, as long as it's not confusing in the rules, I can understand that. That would be well.
I mean,
The Death Skulls are freebooters. The
if their
freebooters
clothes
are Evil
colour-
Sons.
If the colour of their clothing is confusing you, look at the colour of their skin.
I mean,
Yeah,
long term.
If they're not yours, they're going to shoot you. Right? It's
Yeah.
not hard. If you
Long-term
don't
advice,
remember
though.
painting it.
Some long-term advice from like a guy who's like stuck with quite a number of editions. Like, don't get attached to any particular clan, because
Yeah.
one of the greatest tricks that you can pull on you, and they'll do it because they've done it before. They'll do it again. They'll
No, if you're a
just have
clan.
an edition where it's like the multi-clan is the way to make your orc army, and
Yeah.
just go back to that. So
Yeah.
they'll
Clan
push
have it day in the
push the
sun.
mono clan until they've made their money from it, and then we'll go back to the multi clan again as
Yeah.
the way forward. And
And
we already
those-
see
those-
that frustration that they can tap into already festering, because people are like, why can't I just take Gazzy? Gazzy's in charge of all the orcs, and like that's already starting to sort of filter over. And obviously this new codex does have a solution for that. It's not a good solution, but it exists. I think in the future, they'll probably go back to pushing the multi-clan thing, but
well, they're flipping it quite quickly these days. Whereas in the past, it used to be years
Yeah.
between flipping it. So then you get people that only knew the mono clan time. So they're like, "What do you mean? Why would you mix?" Like,
Well, I
I do bad moods. That's all I do. I don't. Why would I? And so you get people that were of that generation, and then it was news to them when all of a sudden it went multi-clan. Why?
I think we're multi-clan now. I think this is a multi-clan
I
codex.
think so too.
Because you might be looking at, you've got that CP tax to run the extra clans. You're not going to run 6. 6 is probably out, or 7, right? But you're going to
2 or
easily
3.
run 2, possibly 3, because the CP that in the last edition we were spending in fucking buckets pre-game on all these sort of like strats and custom jobs and this and that. We don't have that anymore.
Well,
Custom
that's what they want
jobs,
you-
custom jobs isn't CP, it's points now.
Yeah.
Strats. I mean, this is not like the ideal way to do it, but there's not as many pre-game strats. You always had straight away. You'd have like Warped, you'd have the biggest boss, stuff like that. You've not got that now. There's no need for that now. So, although I haven't played a game in 9th yet, I've watched plenty of bat reps, and you see orc players starting out with sort of like 9, 10 CP, and by turn 3 they've got 14, because it's like, you're not using them as much. There's not as much as spend them on at the start, so spend them on detachments.
Yeah,
spend them on getting the optimum crump and the optimum shooting, the optimum sneaky. Spend it on that. I think that's a perfectly feasible way to use it now.
I think Games Workshop actually want people to have the ability to choose sort of 2 or 3 at maximum sort of factions for their force, and you could do that with Imperials and others, and it was always capped at about that. So I mean, there are 6 clans, official clans and such. You wouldn't run them all, like you say. You wouldn't do it, and it's the same way with Imperials. You wouldn't have sort of 6 allied forces as such in that way, unless you're playing a huge game.
But they're trying to do they're trying to do the Malifaux strat. They're
giving us what the others have got. That's what they're doing.
Well,
they're trying to make
they want you to have more smaller armies, not one big army that you constantly feed into. They want you to feel like you can branch out into more factions and branch out into more games.
I know they're pissing in the wind to get the orc players, aren't they? Do you know an orc player's got like 1,000 points of orcs? I didn't. People go, I've got 12,000 points of orcs, and going, oh bless you, you'll get there, son. Don't worry. It's like people have got vast fucking wars, literally. Anyone who puts down a couple of thousand points of orcs is just started. I've been doing this a year and a half, and I've got about 8 painted, not in boxes, not painted, ready to go. That was the last count. It's probably more now.
I've got quite a small sort of orc army, but even then, like, I can get to 5-6k without too much trouble.
Include your grots, mate. I mean, now, oh Christ.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, like 7,000 points is just 20 Gretchen, I think, but It's something like that. My maths is not perfect, but I know I'm not far off. Totally not fucking bitter or anything. Actually, no, that's a lie. I'm completely bitter.
I'm sure I can trim some points off if I just call them my battle wagons trucks.
Well, you might as fucking well, considering how big you think a fucking truck is.
Are there trucks in there? No, that's the truck.
That's a cruiser truck. No, Dread, that's a battle wagon. Actually, no, Dread, that's a battle fortress. No, it's not. It's a truck. No, Dread. No, bad Dread. That's not a truck. It's
Call that a truck.
This is a truck.
We're at a tank.
I reckon I've got about 25,000 points of orcs painted at the moment.
Yeah,
probably.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, all painted.
Very well done.
God knows what else now with the snaggers and all of that still to do. But yeah.
Well, I want to get painting, I really do, but I need to buy a rug and a table.
Yeah.
Before I do.
Nah, you fucking don't need that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
make a rug out of bits of sprue that you clip off. It'll eventually make a carpet, and you can walk on it.
The reason I want a rug is to protect the carpet that is already in a terrible state. Like the landlord actually, I sent them, made them bring a cleaner in again after they'd had a cleaner in already. And it still ain't solved it. I mean, there's no saving it. They need to replace it, but they're not going to replace it. So I'm just like, okay, look, I ain't going to make it any worse. And I know I'm going to go glue in and clip in and paint in. So I'm just going to cover it with one of them grey office mats, with the rubberized edges. Just get one of those. Yeah, sorted.
Chuck your known oil everywhere, who cares?
Yeah, it won't matter then. Yeah, just get a huge one of them, just cover the whole floor with that.
It's like the Joe Pesci made man scene from Goodfellas.
You get some plastic sheeting down.
The plastic sheeting
around the walls, and yeah.
Oh.
between each session, just wrap out and burn it outside. Your neighbours would soon start looking, wouldn't they? What's he doing?
I could have kept all that plastic covering to come on some of the furniture and whatnot. Should have thought of that. I kept some cardboard though. There was some awesome cardboard in some of the furniture packaging. I was like, oh yeah, I'll have that. That's terrain right there, mate. God, that's reinforced cardboard. God, yeah. Oh, now you're spoiling me.
And look, I went to the tip today. Before I went, I took all of this stuff out of the bin.
Very good. That's corrugated. That's beautiful. That is.
Love it. That's pre-peeled. That stuff even better.
Oof.
Don't. I've got to sleep the night. Oh, don't get us going. Your pre-peeled corrugated tip cardboard.
Love it. Don't smell it anymore.
Oh well, that's good. Got the bean juice off.
Oh dear.
I've got no fear of missing out on cardboard.
I've got a bag of sprues out there. I might chuck some of it Dread's way. The Trick will be trying to get some cat piss on it for him.
Got to be properly seasoned, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, right?
Then I'll have to put it in a bath full of bleach again.
Adds to the flavour, give it the good lick test.
Actually, as it goes now, all of those sprues, I did actually manage to get them here, so I've got them.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They do smell like bleach.
Oh.
They're in the loft.
Better than piss.
Never know. Never know when you're going to want them.
That blowout on the motorway with the trailer was totally worth it to bring a bag full of fucking sprues back. Fucking typical Dread right there.
Fear of missing out.
It ain't stick to keep us on fucking target with this fucking aim.
You're just up the road from me now, though, Dread, aren't you?
Not far. I'm near Crawley.
Yeah, that's it. I have to get together now for a game. That's it,
that's fine, mate.
Sure.
That's good stuff. That.
Save me driving all the way to Newcastle just to play a game.
I was going to say we've got all two corners of the UK covered here.
It's shocking, isn't it?
Well, the two corners that matter, so it's fine.
Yeah,
That's
everything
what
else
I'm
is just in
honestly. That's
between.
what I'm missing out on the most at the moment. You say fear of missing out. It's games. I ain't getting
Yeah.
any games at the moment. It's pissing me off royally at the moment.
Yeah,
I think everything I learnt playing the what do you call it now? The
The old TTS.
yeah,
Yeah.
playing the what's their full name?
TTS.
Tabletop
Tabletop
simulator.
simulator.
Yeah.
You've forgotten
Tabletop
already?
simulator. That's it. Yeah. See, what chance have I got of playing it? I can't even remember the name of it. I'm going to be awful. I'm going to be
Yeah.
unable to move the mouse around again, and I'm going to be like, okay, right, what's this 9th edition again?
Yeah, I did. I watched on Winter's SEO today. I watched the hobby what do they call it? Hobby Apocalypse or something, and it was him and 4 lads off the Warzone TV having like a 4-way free for all. And yeah,
And
I'll
they
be
played
honest.
Warhammer.
I played Warhammer, yeah, and I was I mean, I watched all of it. Every fucking minute, but yeah, it was
Exhilarating.
it was good, and I did get quite jealous. Just the fact that they were having a laugh,
Yeah.
and they were all playing, they were all together, and
Bastards.
yeah, and I was like, yeah, but at the same time, I was pleased for them because I've seen him doing his games throughout lockdown with the fella he's got who was in his little social support network bubble thing.
Yeah.
Come along, and some lad who wears a Gandalf mask, wizard white beard. No, that's not right. That's Where's Wally, isn't it? Winter wizard, and and I've watched him do this with people in the house with masks on and all this, and then it's sort of like it's almost feels like it's back to normal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, let's get some of that shit going on.
Hey, listen, you. Grass is always greener, right? You're in a good enough crew here, all right? You don't have to worry about like jumping ship or nothing, all right?
No, I mean, but let's get together. Let's do something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, definitely.
Don't want to do it at Warhammer World though. It's got to be like a.
It's a shame. It's a shame that they're quite militant with,
The likes
just
of Dread.
GW only stuff in there, and that because it's
not even
actually
that.
placed pretty well.
It's not even that though. See, I think you'd get away with most of it if you would just like. No, seriously. Honestly, I've taken third party
I
stuff.
don't think there's any part of my army.
Beg forgiveness rather than ask permission is my,
Yeah, exactly.
my policy.
Exactly that.
True,
exactly
very
that.
true.
Once you're there, they're not going to kick you out. I don't think. It's just the problem is it's only open till like 6 o'clock in the evening, isn't it? And you ain't got time to have a bit of banter and play.
You
a
got time to
game.
scratch your ass, to be honest.
Exactly. By the time you set it up and got all your armies out and all had a look, look at this conversion, look at that.
But
Oh,
we
what are you doing? And then it's like,
discussed
oh,
this.
The key would be to get there at 10 o'clock, start, play, finish at 6, and then go.
It's very
somewhere
easy.
for more.
It's very easy to think it's
Yeah,
possible
man.
to have discipline.
never.
In practice, it fucking isn't. Although I have to say, probably the reason why Warhammer World has the draconian laws that it has now is probably down to the war mates that I was a part of.
Right, listen. Here's what we do. Right, is we arrange it. We was talking before about this anyway. Right, is getting together and going to an Airbnb. Now you can get one of these ones down the seaside or whatever. That used to be a pub. Still got a massive bar as a table, like as a fancy dining table and stuff like this. Big enough to play 40k on. We could all chip in on something like that. It would be the same as like paying for travel and paying for getting into Warhammer World individually. You could book a nice Airbnb.
Yeah.
Each have a double ensuite room or whatever, and a nice space to play. And we can all bring a bit of terrain, all bring it along with our armies and stuff, and some mats, battle mats. And
As
stuff.
we'd all be chipping into the money, we could get like a decent gaff.
And yeah, exactly. And then we can have like Indian
just
or
stay there,
Chinese or whatever delivered. We can have food brought in.
Yeah.
And we can play and take breasts and play again. And we ain't got anyone, coming telling us, "Oh, look, you're being rowdy" or blah blah blah. Blah. Do what we want, and we can film as much as we want.
It's a shame we don't know anyone in like catering or anything.
Well,
No,
sure.
Okay, I'll cook.
Wait, no.
Smash, Panzer smash,
that could
Panel
be
smash all
an
right.
optional
I'm
option.
sure-
It shouldn't be more than that. It's like it's a fucking holiday. The last thing that Essex wants to do is make.
No, we'll get Clint an apron, an AnORKY apron. And
That's all I wear though.
Yeah, it's fine.
They're like, I
Just
need
don't-
that food now.
Just don't turn around.
Me knobs twin linked. It's
I'll be
got
up at the crack
rending.
of dawn.
It's got a cover save at the moment. Got millions of these. Got millions. Got millions.
Yeah, but the cover save works for the apron, though.
Rending.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Find somewhere sort of more like central
Yeah.
for people, because, like I said, I mean, Clint, you're coming up next week, aren't you?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Yeah,
And it's,
Wednesday or Thursday next week, yeah.
It's like a 5-hour. It's a 5-hour drive,
Mm.
and it's
So
probably
I've got like a.
It's probably quicker for us to drive down to you because it'll be like downhill. But it's it's a long way. So find somewhere in the middle. Like in Warhammer World is basically like a, what, 2.5 hour drive.
Well, we do pretty much have all the fucking hills, don't we?
Yeah.
So, although viewers, we might often talk about your friendly local gaming club. Here's another option for you. Book yourself an Airbnb between you and your mates, because it could be a better option for you.
The
Can
only
be a bit
issue
more
you've
cut
really got
loose.
is terrain, isn't it? Yeah. Terrain and.
Yeah,
like,
Nah, but it's like you say, if everyone brings a couple of bits and that's all, half a table's worth. I mean, it's only like what.
I think I've
Four-
got more
four
terrain
bits
than
of
I have
terrain.
anything else. Got loads of
I
terrain.
mean, the thing is if
I've
it's
got 3 tables worth at least.
Yeah.
orcs versus orcs, you don't really need all that much terrain because you don't have that fucking annoying imperial accuracy leaf blower and all the cool shit off the table turn 1. You know.
That's true. I still think you'd need some more just for a nice looking.
Oh yeah, for you want it to look
And
nice.
plus,
but yeah.
I'll be bringing salamanders anyway, so.
Uh,
Well, you're 2 stompers, I know you.
Yeah. Remember how much you enjoyed the last time?
Yeah, it was great. That was a fun all round, wasn't it?
Yeah. I brought 2.
I'll be running one of Pal's lists.
Oh God. Oh no, power gamer.
you know, we always knew you were that guy, but you know, didn't realize how low you'd sink. Honoring someone else's genius, you know.
Nah. I don't know. I'm just gonna have some fun with this codex. I think I'm just gonna I'm gonna build the stuff I want to build,
Fun.
and then
That's
see
it.
if I can put that
Fun
together
that's
into some kind of-
coincidentally good.
see what can be done. I think actually it's just going to be good anyway because it just will be.
Yeah.
Because
I think it will.
freebooters are in this edition, and a lot of things are.
I'm really
There's some,
looking forward
there's some
to
things that are missing. That I'm just, but whatever.
looking forward to a rematch with my mate with his Ultramarines. That'd be good. Like, yeah, get the Goths back on the table because he blasted the shit out of me last time we played. It was Planet Bowling Ball we played on, which was a bit bad. Just he like shot me off, and I got there in charge range, and it was like, right, they're going to charge. Okay, Overwatch. Oh, they're all dead. They're going to charge then. Overwatch. Oh, they're all dead. Oh, right, he's going to charge then. Oh no, they're all dead with Overwatch.
You'll have a surprise coming to them, wouldn't you, when they don't all disappear?
Yeah, exactly. It'll be much better. Yeah,
because now
we can only
is
Overwatch
limited.
with one unit.
Yeah.
It's going to be so much better. Or
But
toughness
you can
bonus, so.
play that to your advantage because he's going to expect to like certain units are going to be able to deal with certain units.
Yeah.
So you can take advantage of that
It's going
kind
to
of.
be much nicer. I think. Yeah, it's going to be. I still think it'll be a tough call because they're still tough cookies, but it'll be.
Oh yeah.
It'll be much more fun. I think it'll be a bit more of an even match. It won't just be like, yeah, they're all dead. That was the only time I've ever got really salty in a game. I was a bit like.
Was that the one that you done the bat rep for with?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of the first bat reps I watched. I got a bit salty over that, to be honest with you. That was...
Man, like, Jesus Christ, man, this is ridiculous. Right, re-roll all the hits, all the wounds. Yeah, and fuck's sake, this is bollocks. Yeah, it was pretty bad. They've toned it all down now a bit, and they with the Marines and everything, so it should be a lot better.
Yeah, the Marines are sort of just like a default army now. They're not weak.
No,
but they're not strong. I mean, they're not like, you know, they're not top tier anyway.
No, it should be good.
There's a lot of orc armies are doing really well in the tournaments at the minute.
Yeah,
taking first and seconds and that. It's all a certain type of list, you know, 3 mega truck scrap jets, 3 rocket truck squig buggies.
Yeah.
Sorry, 5 rocket truck squig buggies.
Bloody
A unit of 1 with nitro squigs, and I think is there a second unit of 1 with nitro squigs with a mech shop, giving it the double, and then a unit of 3 without them, because they've got like 48-inch range, grot accuracy, unseen targets, or whatever you call it, you know, lobbers.
They sorted out that overstock of squig buggy problem then.
yeah, they did. Yeah,
they have indeed.
Yeah, they did say, oh, interesting. Maybe you should buy a squig buggy. And I was like, shut up, you Wagon. Stop trying to shift your stock. You're like rock and roll shit now.
that was quite fun though. When the codex first leaked, and there's a bunch of newbies and new people or people who've been out of it for a little while, and like, hang on a minute. All of the things that used to be really bad are now really good, and all the things that were really good are now really bad. They just did that, and I was like, hello there. Is this your first time?
Yeah, I've got a surplus of mech guns.
Literally what they do every time.
I've already painted 4 mech guns. I've got another 4 almost done, and about another 4 on sprue. And you know what? Doesn't matter. Don't matter. Even taking a maximum, you wouldn't even take the maximum number of them because they've got a leadership of 4 and they stay in a unit. So you shoot one and the rest, run away. You know?
If you want to play this game, I've still got a box full of knob bikers that I was converting. Load of them.
In the codex.
Hey, get them in. Use them. Just run them as bikers.
Yeah.
They'll be, honestly, and if they stay with the knob bikers when they sort out what we're doing with the Forge World stuff, it could be good. But even if there's normal bikers, shit hot, especially as freebooters.
I've got other things to work on.
The shots they put out, man, it's obscene.
By the time I come to them, they'll be back.
Each bike's chucking out 10 shots. And then if you do wars and all the rest of it, you can get them up as 12 shots.
12 shots,
a unit of 90, is it 96 shots or 104 shots or something tops?
Okay, no.
Yeah. It's something like
pretty
that.
Good.
It's a lot.
And they hit harder now. With
that's almost as many as the points of one Gretchen. That's a lot.
Some of the shots you can put out with the flyers now are insane as well.
Yeah, the Dagger Jet as well.
I can't wait for that. It's going to be so much fun.
The Dagger Jet's good. The Waz Bomb it's chucking out a lot more shots with the new weapon profiles.
Yeah.
I mean, with the teleport blasters and the smasher gun, there's some serious damage, and plus it's got a 4+ ballistic skill all round. So with freebooters, you'll be hitting on 3s if you can trigger the +1.
Yeah,
and it's got a wicked custom force field to protect your other flyers. The only one that's still a 5+ save. Yeah, and you know the +1 for freebooters is now battlefield wide. It's not a 24-inch range.
Yeah,
so it's
where you are in the battlefield, you'll still get that benefit.
I mean, the Wazbomb Blaster just costs about 230 points or something with everything on it. Something like it's 200 odd points anyway. It's a lot, but you have a couple of Dagger Jets for the same price, just about.
I still love the Dagger Jet. They're so good.
Yeah. I still haven't written an army list. Which isn't helping us because I just keep buying and painting. Build this, build that, and I look at it and go, no, I need more planes, and then I'll go off and
you know what? I really struggle where I've painted so many. I really struggle writing an army list because I've always built army lists of things I really like the models I like, and whatever's the latest flavour for me. Whatever I've just painted, I'm like, I want to do that. I can never fit it all in.
Yeah,
I just like, I want to do all the dreads. I want to do these now. I want to do the commandos now because I just built them. And it's like I never settle on a list. I just keep building and building.
It doesn't work the other way though, because if you do it the other way, you start with a list. Speaking from better experience, you start with a list. You start doing your hobby and you're converting and you're painting and all that. And by the time you're done, the editions changed. New codex. You got stuff that you can't use anymore.
Yeah.
That happened many times. So there is no ideal. You just kind of just got to go with the flow, really.
Yeah,
I think both of those things happened to me.
Did you have all the rules for the 8th edition, Dread?
Yeah. Yeah.
You never played 8th.
Yeah, I played it twice.
Well, yeah, that's it, innit?
You
That's
didn't
it.
really miss much.
No.
I'm not. I fucking despise it, but like I can see that 9th is definitely an improvement on 8th. I mean, low bar for me, but you know, it's definitely an improvement. It's more tactical. I think the problem with 8th is it's like too much of it was if I can figure out how to kill you, I've just won. There's nothing you can do about it. And there was too many lists out there that did that too well that half the people would turn up to play it. Like, I mean, sometimes it was all right if you played certain stuff, but I just kept on running into that guy in my local store. Like, I remember I took like I got really excited early 8th edition. I made like a really fun Kraken Tyrant army, and it was all snake themed. I did everything snake themed. So I used like the winged hive tyrant, but I didn't stick the wings on. He's like a big snaky boy, you know, with scythe and talons. I had a Morlock, a Trigon. I had Ripper Swarms. I used the forgeable Ripper Swarms because they just look better. Although there's a story behind that, but I won't do that today because I've probably done it before and it distracts a bit too much. But I had a fuck ton of Ravenous, Zone Throbes. I converted a couple of things. I had like a Broodlord that I had like the lower half was snakified from like Cockatrice, I think, and like I was going to use Snaky Gene Stealers as well. Actually, I've got the Broodlord handy. Actually, there we are. I'll try and chuck up a picture, but yeah, there you go. So you can see the snaky bit. And I did like that entire army, and I ran it against like an Imperial Guard player who had like. He had the I can't. Is it the Macarius? But it's one of the Forge World tanks, and it's got a Vulcan Mega Bolter on it.
Yeah.
I had a combat army, so I tried to charge it, and it did Overwatch, and it just effortlessly wiped out 4 units that were trying to charge it, and that was my experience of like 8th edition was just combat armies just didn't work. Unless they
that's
had
true.
some
They didn't.
shenanigans.
No, they really didn't.
And with 9th, that might even be a prospect. I might give them a run one time just because they're there. But
they'll do really well with the new terrain rules and just.
They'd be quite effective
really
because
viable, really
it's
viable.
all the army's accidentally brilliant for 9th because it's a lot of things that can pop up out of the ground and just go straight for the objectives and sit there. And the Raveners have just got the movement that they can just get there, you know. So it's accidentally quite a good army. I mean, I don't know how the points would affect it, how much I would have to drop or whatnot. But even the Rippers would be good because they can submerge themselves, so they don't even need to turn up with Trigons. But like, yeah, I always start with a theme first. I've got to have a theme. And it's getting harder to do, and there's less reward for doing it. But it's still doable to an extent. This is the first edition where I thought it's tactical in a while, like because 7th wasn't tactical either, really. You could win tactical games, but you won tactical games by your opponent turned up to kill your army. That was his plan. And thinking about objectives wasn't part of that plan because that's too much thinking. You know, they just turned up with a net list and expected to just win. And 8th edition was a little too much that. It was a little too indulgent of that kind of mentality. And 9th edition has fixed that, fortunately. That's one plus I've got about
I think it's a good game. I think I only started in 5th, so I can't speak too much. For me personally, but I loved 5th edition. I really enjoyed that, and then 6th and 7th, I really sort of fell out of love with the game, but still loved the modelling.
I hated 5th at the time, but I think in hindsight, I probably would like it a lot more.
I
but
really enjoyed that.
I mean, I hate 5th edition for one particular writer.
Oh,
how
unusual. Does he have a name?
It's gone on. Yeah, because he wrote so many codexes in 5th. Like, oh god, he ruined it. He ruined it for me.
So,
if it wasn't for those damn codexes, that would have been a really good addition.
So Clint, when you were since 6th and 7th, you hated the additions.
Not hated it, but didn't enjoy the game as much. I found it really hard with the orcs.
I tell you what, Clint's a really nice guy. He's very tactful. So I'll take the bullet.
I was just wondering when
I'll
you're
take the
still
bullet.
if you're still doing the modelling side, which I can totally see me, you know, if they do something I don't like, I'm like, oh, I hate this. But I'll continue to do the modelling. But I'm just wondering, did you still continue to play the games with the same sort of regularity?
I just didn't play my true love. I didn't play the orcs because I loved the orcs in 5th, and then they were just really hard to play with. Just when people I'm playing with, a lot of Marine players, and it was a bit demoralising after a while.
Yeah.
And then I got a Death Guard army, and I just started playing that, and that was really good in them editions, you know, because they were powerful and strong, and you know, I had so many variations on the orcs. I just couldn't get anywhere with them. I was really struggling.
Yeah,
it becomes a bit demoralising after a while. So I just carried on building and painting and still loving them, but not playing them.
Yeah, the 7th edition book was dog shit. It was terrible.
It was really hard. The book was really
absolute crap. And the Gaskell supplement was so terrible they had to go back to the drawing board and serve up another one. So we had to pay for 2 supplements. We're the only faction that did, because the first supplement didn't work. And formations get fucked. Like, it's an offensive they're still in Age of Sigmar, but that's that group of writers who were responsible for 7th edition. They're the people responsible for 8th, for Age of Sigmar, which is, you know, why it's terrible. And 6th edition and 7th edition were just honestly, I think they were weaponized spite. I used to think of them as just absolute unbridled incompetence, but I think I'll just go with weaponized spite instead. They actively hated their own fans, and basically they just did two middle fingers at their own audience, and one of them was called 6th edition 40k, and one of them was called 7th.
Oh yeah, man, and a curse. Anyway, there's the title of the episode right there.
Yeah,
I don't know. It was just
How long we've been rolling for?
Fuck knows.
Can't wait to meet up and play some Blood Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I will actually stomach it for you. I will play it. I fucking won't like it, but
You will.
Yeah.
I'll be well.
It'll be Blood Bowl-y enough that I will still enjoy it, but
I'll bring the stadium as well. That'll help.
The stadium will definitely help.
Oh yeah, that'll be funny.
The thing is, though, is you're because you're bringing the stadium up, you're putting the right wind uppers, because I don't really have a fully painted Blood Bowl team, and I think it kind of behoves me to get one of them finished.
That's right. You got a week.
Yes. two players a day.
Scar's here on fucking Wednesday, right? And these next 2 days is frantic tidy of house, frantic tidy. I mean, I've been chipping at it all week, but there's so much still to do. I've been sorting through this room, and this room's just lost. It's lost. There's just so much crap. But
yeah, I sorted out my garage the other day.
I mean, I've got like a mostly painted ogre team. It's probably what I'll revert to if I need to. Somewhere I've got like a bunch of nobblers who have got like a British Premier League football strips.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Just because I could. I don't know why I did it, because it's not like I'm big into kickball. I'm not. Not really my thing, but still, I thought it'd be funny, so I did it. I don't know where they've gone. Like they are somewhere. They're somewhere.
A little stunty cup.
Steady on. Oh, I see.
You got goblins, haven't you, Sid?
I've got. I have actually not fully painted though. I think they've got a base coat on in 91 and some basic colours blocked in, but I don't think there's a full team of them. I've got an Orc team, and I've got that Chaos Renegades. Old school painted up.
Renegades.
Did you want to play some 40k or?
Well, I won't, but you guys can.
We'll play a new game of Kill Team.
Well, if you bring your own rulebook, yeah, because this one that's in here might not be here by the time you get here, because I'm giving it to my local club, because I'm not even going to bother reading it. But could have a game of Goku Markers. That'd be a good laugh.
I've never played. I've always wanted to, actually. I think that'd be...
It's a good laugh.
Goku Markers, that actually had me as FOMO, because that was as I sort of like stopped the hobby, but I still sort of glanced at White Dwarfs and peered in as I walked past the shop in the town centre and that, and Goku Markers came out. I was like, fucking hell. Loads of little buggies and bikes and vehicles and stuff, not all different, and that and I did get a bit FOMO from that. I mean, I did miss out.
That is the most hobby-friendly game that I think GW's ever done. But I would
bring that back.
I kind of want them to, and I kind of don't. Because the problem is if modern Games Workshop brought it back, it wouldn't work in the same way it works now. You couldn't have that game with absolute hobby flexibility. They would never be happy enough putting a game out like that. Or at least I would very much want them to, but I don't think they would be willing to. And like that's kind of the big part of it, because like the transport capacity of your vehicle is how many models literally fit on it. Although we always made like some exceptions, because like for instance, I've got original Goku Markers models which I insist on using, but it's like if you turn up and your Goku Markers mob is like orcs on modern bases, I'm not going to go, oh well, you can't fit any of your orcs on my tiny vehicles. I'll go, no, we'll work something out. Like, but
32 mil bases, you're not going to fit many, are you?
You can.
The Goku Markers vehicles are quite small. I remember seeing it. Was it a clipper or something? It was like a door with a door with a seal, essentially, and some grots on it.
I mean, they used to be downstairs. I don't know where I've put them, but like the cutter's about, I would say probably about that at best. In size, they're not very big.
So we're looking at a Dairy League triangle.
You'd fit like 2 orcs on 32
Laughing
mils,
cow,
with the risk of falling off.
Was that a rule? If they fall off?
No, it wasn't. It's often believed to be a rule. It was a rule. It was a rule.
The battle wagon
for the battle wagon in 40k, for second ed, I think.
Yeah.
But the thing was, is some guy just being an absolute douchebag, just got his battle wagon and glue a bucket on top of it and just poured fucking space orcs into it. That was the end of that rule because of that guy.
Right, well done. Then you filled it with beer,
yeah.
Well
what a knob.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, in my case, I would probably fill it with piss, but pick the right beer. You've covered both. But like
a couple of cans of Foster's, you're away.
Yeah.
The Tetleys of beer.
Really fucking is. I should get a big Tetley's box and hide all the Yorkshire Gold tea bags in it for when Scar gets here. He'll fucking lose it. He'll lose his mind. It'll be hilarious. I'll not live for 30 seconds, but
he'll be able to taste it. He'll know.
Sorry, no, I'll get the good stuff out and then bring out a box of PG tips.
Yeah, and only thing that'll maybe throw his ability to tell would be just the water difference where you live to where he's used to.
Yeah, the heavy water. But yeah, be careful.
You're gonna need a lot of Yorkshire tea, by the way.
Be cautious what size vehicles you have. That's a Goku Markers tip, and obviously, be cautious of what tea bags you give to Scar. That's a PG tip.
The bases used to be like tiny, didn't they? For Goku.
Yeah, they were like little oval things. I've got a load of them.
HG tip.
Hey.
A hobby git tip. Yes, there you go.
The spin-off ideas are coming flying through his head right now. I could do something with this. Maybe. No, I'll think about it later.
Well, we still got to do that fucking conversion clinic thing.
I know, yeah. I've got a white jacket hanging out in my closet.
Same, but I mean, to be fair, like you having needing to set your life up has just given me time to just get some other aspects of my life fucking sorted out before we start. So it works. So yeah, but yeah, like this. Oh man, just so much bollocks we've talked about. It's great.
Well, hopefully, I've got this work trial this coming week. Hopefully, if that works out all right, I'll be heading in the right direction. I'll be able to get a few things around here sorted out.
That's what you got to do, Trez. We're not too far away. You'd have to come up and have a game here.
Definitely, mate.
Just drive up, and one day we'll meet up during the week or something if you're free, and get the table out and have a couple.
Let's say you're close enough. You've got it really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Teach him how to fucking play Blood Bowl while you're at it.
Yeah,
teach him how to fucking play it, because yeah, I'm trying to just con all the Warbosses into playing anything other than 40k when they turn up. I have been tempting Steve-O with Hero Quest, which is an easy thing. I think Hero Quest is my one thing. Is like how do I get Steve-O? Dread up a game, but like Steve-O might be a stick in the mud. I was like, Hero Quest. There we go.
I ain't got a problem with playing older editions and stuff like that. I don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think our viewers would like to see the up-to-date edition.
Yeah.
For the sake of the viewers, I'm willing to stomach the game for like a bit. But the grand thing about my decision is that I don't have to worry about it anymore, because it's just like it's about dropping my emotional investment. And
you know your
that's
list you made
enough.
for the Warbosses, Dim. You know that grot list, the army.
Yeah.
Can you still field that with the new codex?
Probably not. I'm
No.
not sure. Maybe. I mean, it's more or less what I'll field. I think I think the problem might be the mech guns, because I think
not enough space for all the guns.
and also
how many mech guns was it?
I think I had 5, and now that it's 3.
So it's like
yeah,
5, yeah.
because it's the heavy support choices fill up really quickly if you do grots, particularly with like the mech guns, with the big guns.
Can you not just
big
do
guns cost knee points at all?
Italian. No,
spearhead?
Spearhead, yeah.
I'd say up to 6 heavies.
Well, I could do.
You still fit up to 3 fast attacks in there for your tanks. I don't know how many tanks you've got, but
grot tanks, loads.
Like
got 3 grot megas. I've got 3 regular grot tanks, but I've got all sorts of options I could go with. One of the things I was thinking about was doing like some goth grots to run with Macquarie. Just for a laugh, really, make like a goth list, and I can stick some sort of like goth units in there that'll help out. But yeah, it was going to be a bit complicated, but I could have made it work a little bit. But it's hard to really tell what synergies will work or won't. And it's such a low point cost as well, because it's are we still doing 1,000, or did we do 1,500?
15.
I thought it was 1,500.
Might be 1,500. Might work.
I'm sure somebody was. I can't remember who. To be fair, was going. We're close to 2.
Well, I could do 2K quite easily, and probably more easily than the other Warbosses. Although if we do like Rule of 3 or Highlander, I'm fucked. Because I've got a lot of the same kinds of units. Because I went with everything. I mean, I've got a couple of, in inverted commas, orc units that I can run. Like I've got some Death Copters that a friend made for me for a Secret Santa, and I've got like a bunch of other units that I've made myself, weird boys and stuff like that. I've even got the odd orc thing I can add in. Yeah, stuff like that could be a laugh, but I guess we'll see. And I've got Zodgrod with my cunning plan Zodgrod, which is like second ed Zodgrod. 9th ed Zodgrod. Just stick him in a singing base.
Yeah, I've been talking about meeting up with Steve-O to have a game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, try and get a game in, because he's
might actually have a chance of winning a game.
His Tagbusters failed him hard, didn't they? When he played.
Oh dear.
Did we watch him play, Nick? Yeah.
It's like, whoa, that was bad. Like, oh mate. Yeah.
But yeah, they whiffed.
I'm not exactly great. My record isn't fantastic with the orcs. Every game I've filmed, I've lost pretty much. I think I won.
I wasn't trying to be like snarky about your ability with orcs. I was just more. We had to get one Steve or Zinger in about the recent battle report. Just had to do it. I was just waiting. We were. I'm surprised you were probably waiting like a coil spring, were you? I was surprised you didn't jump in.
Yeah, yeah. I was leading up to mentioning it. I was going to just gently mention. Did anyone watch Devo's game then? You know.
I need to finish watching it, but I did ascertain
we'll not spoil it.
I did ascertain the outcome, but
really well.
They have a good little chat at the end as well. It's like the recording of it and everything's good.
No, it's good, wasn't it?
Well,
done,
Nick's got some very good production values. He's usually the only good bit of production values in our videos. It's just like, oh, here's a bit that Nick made look easy that I can fit into this video, and that's a bit of gravitas, you know. Or mostly just a fucking stay on target, you pieces of shit.
Yeah, because we really stayed on target with the fear of missing out, didn't
we? Oh, we did. Well,
I tried, man. I tried to keep.
Well, this is what it feels like, viewer. This is what it feels like to miss out. You missed out on the fucking chat. You missed out on the talk about missing out.
Exactly.
That's my secret cap. This was the plan all along.
I just wanted to say on the fear of missing out, really, that, you know, it was what I basically said was like it was more of an observation or sort of an open question. It's like, well, at what point does it become too much applying that fear of missing out? Because it works to a degree,
already here. We're already here, I would say.
Right. Yeah.
It's
basically
too much already.
Because I mean, I mentioned this I think the last time, but like, there's a community of scalpers around GW. And they know that GW are going to do a whole load of things that are limited edition. So they snap it up. And GW, being a corporate business, are only interested in how good their sales figures look. So they are perfectly willing to indulge this impulse because the thing sells out really quickly. But they do that whilst being a business that is unwilling to do second prints of things. Like Nintendo gets into fucking bother about like selling out amiibos and things like that and other sort of toys to life things that the kiddie winkles want for their computer gaming needs, and they get into bother with that, but they'll just make more of that thing down the line somewhere and they'll still be able to get it. Whereas like with GW, like Curse City was an absolute botch because like nobody got it, loads of people wanted it, and yeah, they sold out. Good for them. But it's the thing is like, this is the thing that GW always has a problem with, is that they're very, very good at making short-term like decisions that benefit themselves directly, and all of their fanboys are very quick to point those out. But like long-term,
so
like
with Curse City, I think that was maybe things that were a little bit beyond their control, maybe a little bit. With that one, maybe just fanboy, whatever.
Are these?
You know, maybe.
Are these short-term cock-ups, or is it all part of a long-term game where if you do this for a few years, then word gets about that, you know, this stuff sells like fucking rocking horse shit. You know, you can double, triple, quadruple your price on this stuff. That you end up with people coming in that we never had before in this hobby, which are those that buy as an investment.
Yeah.
I mean, the only people that ever did that were long-term hobbyists before in this hobby. People that were like in it anyway, so they're like, oh, I'm going to sit on that for years. I'll just have it in my loft. I'm in the hobby. I don't mind.
I'm not sure if that strat's going to work though. That's like,
now you can like I said, with these last couple of releases, like the Beast Snaggers and this Kill Team, like I was obviously saying to other people about it, and they're like, God, geez, is it really, you know, that quick it sells out? You know, other people will before long pay attention and go, there's money to be made at this.
Yeah.
You know?
I know somebody who does that already. Well,
I was
I
thinking
know
if
somebody
you
who
worked, if
knows
you worked
somebody.
at the store, Jesus, you could,
Yeah,
you know.
but he buys the my mate who's into Warhammer. He'll buy stuff, but he knows someone who buys the Black Library books, the limited edition leather bound, you know, the pricey ones. If you can pick those up, he'll pick them up just to sit in them for a bit, and then the interest, as far as I know, he's got no interest in it, but he just then, you know, they're worth money. They go for daft money. I mean, they go for daft money anyway. But if you want to sell them second, like sell them on, they'll
yeah,
go for
I'm
a
not
lot
sure
more.
if that's going to work long term though, because the problem I've got is that GW is like, because they're doing this live service thing, everything's really valuable at the time it's in use, and then
drops off a cliff.
it drops off a cliff, and like
yeah, I know. But
they've
if you're
got a
talking
very
like
disposable culture,
a limited edition books, do they go for much money? Has anybody ever paid over the odds for a book which is no longer in print?
Yeah.
I mean, these are novels that they're getting the Black Library stuff. But even like, I'd happily go for and we were talking about this the other day, weren't we? I'd happily go for a copy of Wild Orcs or Here We Go or something like that. Even Freebooters. I'd love. I mean, I used to have them.
The
I paid £15 a pop for them, and
I wish they'd just reprint them.
Years ago,
I really do.
Well,
GW should have a part of the Black Library should be a retro print.
Well, they do
just reprint some of their older stuff.
They do reprint them, but they only sell them in bloody Warhammer World. So thanks to Clint and Sid meeting up, I was able to get this, the Lost and the Damned. I've already got the Slaves to Darkness from a previous visit. But like they make a finite amount of them, and if you don't get them, you don't get them. Like they did the Rogue Trader rulebook, I've got that as well.
That was the only one on the shelves.
Yeah,
as in Realm of Chaos, the Slaves to Darkness. Not the only. There was lots of copies of it, but there was no other retro book on the shelf at the time, was there?
Did you guys check to see if they had Death Squadron in? Did you check?
I did check, and they didn't.
Oh fuck! God damn it!
Otherwise, I would have picked one of those.
classic.
I would have picked one of those up. Yeah, because I remember you saying so. I thought, right, I'll keep an eye out for that.
Well, they remastered Demonic. I mean, I no doubt they'll do another print run of it, and they'll probably just do it as a limited run and cash in on the FOMO again. But like, this is a thing of like, if they're going to continue this, they need to make sure that not every single major release they do is a selling out fiasco. Because yes, they sell out. They make maximum money for what they were willing to lay down. But their fan base long term thinks this happens every time. What's the point of me getting excited? I'm not going to get it. And they'll just figure out something else to buy with their money instead.
Lose heart with it.
And they'll lose heart.
That was the thing, I think, with the Beast Snaggers box. They did say before, and there's limited numbers. That was what bugged me about Curse City.
Too many people got let down on that, though.
Yeah, and then, but Curse City, they said it was going to be part of the ongoing range, didn't they? And then the underhanded tactics came in, that then they started deleting posts that they'd put up on the community site, and
I heard about that.
That was bad stuff. That was
that was the thing, because they said after it was sold out, oh, we're not making it anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
and that was bad, because I didn't buy that, because I really wanted that just for the minis. I really liked the minis in the box.
Really nice, yeah.
Yeah, they look beautiful. I really liked the look of that, and I thought, nice little standalone game. I'll play that, but I can't afford it now. I'll pick it up later on, and then it's like, oh, no, I can't. I was a bit gay for about 5 minutes, and then I got over it pretty quick. But
bought some orcs.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
I mean, I've seen it be played, but because it was so limited, it's a box set that very rarely sees play, because every time it turns up, the person who owns it is like, what if someone nicks one of the minis? Like, you know, like, or what if someone nicks one of the bits of knickknack, or, you know, what if something breaks? How do I replace it? I mean, yeah, you're starting to be able to get the minis now separately.
Yeah.
But it's just like, from what I heard, it was actually a really good game. Although that's amongst my GW fan friends. I mean, I don't always trust their tastes.
Space Hulk was the other one that got me. I've never played it, and I really would like it.
Oh, I've got that. We can play it when you come up.
I don't want to pay 300 quid for it off eBay. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've got that. I've got that. We can play that when you come up.
I was looking at Hero Quest not long ago, trying to get a decent second-hand copy, and it was daft money. And I had it as a kid, and I thought it might be nice to play with my son. That is nice and basic, and you get him interested and what have you.
Facebook
And
groups.
then,
Keep an eye on Facebook groups.
well, they brought the Kickstarter started up,
Oh yeah.
and I just spent the daft money there instead.
Yeah.
Because it was about the same sort of price, to be fair.
I mean, I almost bought that just to get the spell cards, but I've got the original set, and I just didn't want to be greedy. I know they were going to make them all to order and stuff, but like if it comes out on retail, I'll definitely grab it just for the extra bits and pieces. But I mean, I backed a Kickstarter to get a load of minis for it, and I managed to get some spares because there's a guy who's like, oh, I don't have a full set, I've just got spares. And I was just like, I'll buy that off you. That's an extra board. I can do the 3D Hero Quest now with 3D dungeons. But I've got that. I buy like resin and plastic, and all sorts of, and now I've got 3D printable stuff for getting like dungeon furniture and stuff. There's a lot of options out there for that. And if you're not entirely set on the Hero Quest board, you could use the same concept of the rules, and there's like dungeon pieces that you can get quite easily. You can get like the modular 3D ones, or you could get the TT Combat. I've got some pretty cool just MDF ones. You just buy them, and you just got tiles. You make a dungeon.
Make it.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be the same, but it would be close enough.
If you've got a 3D printer, there's loads of options.
Yeah, there's loads of options. I mean, actually, one of the ones that I back every month is doing a modular dungeon this next month, so that's going to be crazy.
I can't wait to start backing some
stuff like that.
patrons and some Kickstarters.
I've made loads of Dungeons and Dragons scratch built stuff from D&D.
I've avoided that so far. That does seem like a rabbit hole you can easily fall down.
I love it. I do enjoy that. It's good fun.
I'll have to give it a go, because it's a lot of fun.
Campaigns and stuff. It's good fun. Yeah, I do enjoy it, creating your little character, like keep bashing a little mini to represent you on the table and all that. I love that. Writing a massive backstory and get proper invested in that. Made a tavern. I've got one up there. The original Ogre's Nipple up there. Everyone likes a tipple at the Ogre's Nipple.
Yeah.
I don't know where I put them. I thought I had them in this room, but they must be somewhere else.
Did you say the original Ogre's Nipple?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have a name like that. It's like.
Well, I just wondered if there's a new one. If there's a new Ogre's Nipple, or
there is a franchise, didn't there?
Whether there's an old Ogre's Nipple.
Into the Blood Bowl Stadium. It's the bar at the Blood Bowl Stadium. The Ogre's Nipple.
Oh, that's the Ogre's Nipple.
Yeah.
That one's the original.
Yeah.
They should have called that one the old.
The old Ogre's Nipple. The new Ogre's Nipple.
All these nipples. Who's your most frequent patron? Fucking Steve Hall.
Yeah. Yeah, you're lucky, ain't you? It'd be all it'd be hot and sweaty by now.
So excited.
Look at that, man.
We've got to do that nipple compilation at some point. Has to be done. So many.
Is that a little drive-through for carriages, or is that just a way to get it without getting wet?
One day I'll finish it. One day.
Drive-through bar.
That's a story of most of my hobby projects. That one day I'll finish it. One day.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
Well,
different episode for sure.
I dug this out the other day. It's like
Are you a Space Marine?
A Space Marine attack bike that I stuck a dozer blade on. Just for a laugh. It's one of the few bits of Space Marine I still own. I've got very little Space Marine.
I've got a present for you, Dim, when I come up.
Oh.
I've got a box under my laptop at the moment. It's sitting on, and it's full of the old Necromunda cardboard terrain.
Oh,
and
you beauty. You beauty.
it's like I don't want it anymore. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do
You
with it.
you want to see how much of it I've already got, but I will happily take more.
And
Happily.
it's got all the cards and
Build an
stuff.
extension.
And all, yeah, it's so much.
Well,
so much stuff in there.
Yeah, I've got a load of it, but some of it's definitely showing its age, so it's good. It's good to have. But yeah, and I still think it's the best terrain that was ever designed for a game. I think that's why Necromunda worked so well in the 90s. And
It was very cool.
It doesn't work so well now. One, because Andy Hall doesn't know how to write for Necromunda, even though he says he's like Mr. Necromunda. And two, like
Just seeing that on the table.
the terrain
and
is
the
just
mold.
ludicrously priced and not that good. Like
Yeah.
the whole point of like Necromunda back in the day was it was cheap. You paid you bought a 40 quid box set, and you had terrain that went on your board, and you could make infinite amounts different hives. Like
Yeah, and
every
it
battle
didn't
was
just
never
have-
the same. And if
didn't
you
just
wanted
have
more
the
terrain, you just
scatter,
bought another couple of those boxes, which we did. You know,
but
and
actual buildings as well, like a complete building. Like, you know, that's a thing. Like, I do like a lot of the terrain that they've been coming out with. I do.
Yeah.
Like it's all a lot of scatter terrain, which is very useful in the game. But there's no buildings other than that weird orc head thing with the gargant head, which
yeah.
you know, like it's a useful thing, but it's not like an actual building, is it?
And
know
you
what I mean?
can't make incredibly rickety and possibly disastrously collapsing tower like skyscrapers.
Did you see? I don't know if you've seen it. I think it came out the weekend. Zorp. Do you know his channel? He's
Oh,
made
yeah.
a whole orky shanty out of all the terrain from the.
Oh yeah, that was his crossover he did with stuff
Yeah,
with,
with Broadsword Wargaming and
with his video where he pretended to criticize this.
Yeah, a bit clickbaity the title.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? But,
Oh, what's that? I need to find that video. I need someone send me it.
yeah, no, I'll send it over.
All right, so
GW, stop making me improve your terrain. Or
Yeah,
something.
that was it.
That's it.
Something.
Yeah.
Stop making me show you how to do it or something.
I mean, he did. He did improve on that terrain.
It did look really good.
Yeah, it
Well
looked
done.
fantastic. It's really
I
good.
love playing around with terrain.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. It's just like, I mean, come on, man. Like, you're promoting them still. You're not really criticizing them.
No, of course he won't. Found that as well in that box. You know, I don't know where that's from.
Oh, Kraken, yeah, second ed.
Yeah.
Second, it's a good one. It's Jervis, I think, wrote that one. It's the fluff's a bit
Yeah, Jervis Johnson.
dumbing it down from Rogue Trader, but
Yeah.
some cool units in there, some cool ideas, some very silly rules. It's a decent book. I mean, it's worth it just to read the stuff that can happen with the shock attack gun.
Yeah, so I did have a little look.
Because it's got different charts depending on what you targeted.
What you're targeting, yeah.
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 And some of it's quite horrific. You would not want to be on the receiving end of snotlings bursting out your chest from a mini fucking portal.
Yeah.
And there were snotlings.
Well, no, there's
Sorry.
still
No,
there's
I'm
still
not,
snotlings.
no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Don't know why I do it every time. I'll just set him up for one.
They're not. They don't turn into grots. They fucking don't.
I do on the miniatures.
Next time, gadgets. Next time.
Ah, fuck. Paying for that instantly. Ah,
It was good though.
yeah, it was all right.
Oh.
Although the best one I learned I could do is that, you know, we were talking about like the possibility of like Disney buying out Games Workshop.
Oh yeah.
I'm the spiritual liege now. I can't do it now. Now that I'm on front of the camera, I can't do it. Oh, miles away.
You had Mickey down, did you?
I attempted to do it and failed,
It's
ladies and gentlemen.
Happens all the time. Happens to me in the car. I'm driving along and I'll nail an impression and
Yeah.
you know, just like I'm on my own. Like Driving along.
and
Oh
you
my
could do it.
goodness, I can't believe it! I'm Kermit the Frog!
And I'll get home and go, how much news is? Oh, hello! He's like, oh. You?
That's, yeah, I've had that exact same experience so many times.
Yeah.
YA man. Yes.
That close. That close. You nearly chucked your plane to do no double raw, you know, it's close.
Oh, itchy log.
We should probably wrap this up, you know.
Right then.
So yeah.
Fear of missing out.
Yeah, well, you certainly didn't miss out on content this month because, I mean, this is probably going up largely unedited because I don't have the time to edit it. So enjoy staying up all night watching this shit.
We have been your anarchists.
Yeah, it was total anarchy.
AnORKY, yes.
AnORKY. So I was Dim the Hobby Git. Fare thee well.
Catch you on the next one from the
Sid
Essex boys.
I was just assuming Dredd was going to go next since he's
Yeah,
a
same
reg.
here. But
You know what I mean? But
who's that?
I
Well-
said from Dread then. Done.
until next time, take care.
Bye bye.